morning, everybody. It's time to make shift happen. Get ready to shift your perspective on life, people, and the world we live in. And here to help you do that are your shift chicks, Fran Holinda and Lisa A.
Good morning, shifters. I'm Fran Holinda.
And I'm Lisa A.
And it's time to make shift happen. These are borrowed jingle bells.
They are.
Would you like a set? We can have.
Sure.
We have a
Oh,
set.
red.
These are these are wristlet bells.
Oh, I love these.
I think this is fabulous. So it's
I
1
love
week.
jingle bells. I know.
1 week. And as I posted, the world has lost its collective mind.
Collective mind.
I've never seen anything like. Well, that's not true. We see it every year. It's really no surprise.
Especially living around here.
What does that mean?
Well, we live in one of the craziest states in the union, so that doesn't help.
And what you're saying, and you actually had the jingle balls to go to a mall yesterday.
I did, and it wasn't terrible. I have to tell you, it wasn't terrible, but the lines were very long once you get inside. And so it was. You looked at possibly buying something, and then you were like, "I'm not waiting in that line. There's no way."
Well, you know what? Years ago, remember when before online shopping, and I mean really before online,
way before.
I mean, what you did online was if a store had online, it was like a catalog order, or you had to still go to the store. Mm-hmm. But do you remember the return lines?
Oh my! I can't. I could never. Well, I could never wait in those lines.
No, I keep it, right?
It's anxiety.
Forget it. I'll just keep it. And then if you didn't have your receipt, well, that's the other thing. So let's say you bought something for, say, $20 at Christmas time, right?
Right.
And then by the time you return it, it's 77 cents.
It's ridiculous.
Because you don't have your receipt. I'm sorry, we have to give you the sale
well, that's
price.
how the whole gift receipt. That's how the whole gift receipt got started,
right?
Because people wanted the original
to be able
money.
to return, right?
Yeah,
to be able to return.
That's ridiculous. Otherwise, just do your Christmas shopping after Christmas and avoid everybody in your life.
I always thought that. You know what? I actually thought that was a really good idea. Like, for example, let's say you weren't going to see somebody till like a week or two after Christmas.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Why even buy it right before Christmas? Wait till after the holiday. Wait till the sales, and then go and get it. Nobody cares.
No,
nobody knows.
Nobody really.
I don't even think about gift receipts anymore.
I know. People always ask me, "You want a gift receipt?" I'm like, "Nah."
I think it depends. I mean, there's some things like if you're going to buy somebody
in the store.
a candle, like you really going to take my candle back?
No, they're going to
chances are you're going to regift it.
Exactly.
I know. I'm thinking of creative ways to regift.
I just regifted some donuts to Bill.
Would you take a bite out of them and then you decided you didn't like it?
Somebody passed them off to me this morning. I was like, "Oh, I'll bring them to Bill."
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, but
that's actually not very nice.
So what's happening in your world? You doing anything exciting this week?
No. Yeah. I just wanted to see your face.
You fibber.
I just wanted to see your face. Well, first of all, let me just say, speaking of the jingle bells, there is a show. Well, first of all, how many first of all can you have? Netflix. Let me just say it again. Netflix. My new obsession.
I hear this and I see this.
And Amazon Prime also, videos. I don't know. I'm telling you, I am a late bloomer. The world has already known this about Netflix and Amazon Prime and video and all this kind of stuff, but I have become a believer because network television is all on hiatus.
Yes, they are.
And it's also crap, most of it. There's only a few shows that we like, and our show, A Million Little Things.
I know. It's the best show ever.
Best show ever. That ended last week, so that was it. I told you about Empire. We talked about that already, and of course, This Is Us. So none of them are coming back until January. So
what is it, like mid-January? Or is it?
Like not even right away.
Because they have all those bowl games for college football.
God, I can't even take it anymore.
There's nothing on TV at all.
And you know what? I love Ellen. Ellen is like one of my favorite daytime shows, but I'm not a fan of her games. The games, I think it's I don't understand her desire to torture people.
Sometimes those things look dangerous.
I would think you have to sign a waiver. First of all, I'm petrified of heights, and everybody is falling from high. Really she drops people, and somebody's going to get hurt. And
then she doesn't makes believe she's going to do it, and then she does it. Like you're not really ready for it.
So I'm forced, and I do have, I told you one television that's a little bit on the smart side. It's not that smart because apparently I'm having the pre-holiday equipment breakdown. First my dryer, then the other night my cable and my remote would not sync.
Oh my God.
Please, I don't even want to discuss it, but I highly, highly recommend the Christmas Chronicles. I think we talked about this. I don't know if it was on air or off air last week. Unbelievable. Loved it. It's adorable. It's really adorable. And it's definitely something worth watching. Because, as much as I do enjoy some of the Christmas classics, most of them really are geared for children. And whereas this is a family show, there is a lot of humor. First of all, I love Kurt Russell. He's fabulous. His character is just
awesome.
fabulous. It's great. And you know who was in it?
Goldie Hawn.
No, forgetting that.
What? Who?
Silvio. Your
He is?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Stevie.
Well, I have a
Stevie.
bone to pick with them.
I couldn't think of his name. What's his name?
Steve Van Zandt.
Steve Van Zandt. Thank you. Sorry, Steve. Yes. He's in it.
I didn't know.
And
Who
they
does
sing.
he play?
He's in a jail cell at a point in time in the show, and there's a musical number, and he's part of the
Like
musical
15
number.
people I know watch that show. They never told me my cousin's in it.
Yes.
Hello, how mean.
I'm just
And
telling
they
you.
didn't tell me either. He's modest. He's very modest.
And we obviously didn't get any cameos. So
Yeah, really. Got to call Steve up and
so
say.
you want to ask me what I want for Christmas? Yeah. So just that was just an aside to the Christmas, but we're going on the road. The Shift Chicks are going on the road.
Are hitting the road.
Hitting the road, and we're going to be back at Mr. C's appearing.
But differently this time.
Well, yes.
Right.
We are not behind
We're
the
not
bar this
bartending.
time. We are not bartending. We are
Although we might
podcasting.
jump behind the bar. Who knows?
Well, they may need us. Let's face it. We did bring a little bit of sparkle.
We did.
We were fresh fruit behind the bar. We really were.
Lemon rind. Oh, God.
No, we are doing a live show.
Yes. The Shift Chicks will be live at Mr. C's in Allenhurst, New Jersey. If you're local, come out and see us.
But you
It's
don't
gonna be a
have
lot of
to,
fun.
because all you have to do is tune in to makeshifthappenshow.com.
Yep.
You'll hit the listen live button, and we'll put out when we're going to start. We're thinking we're going to start somewhere between, I'm guessing about 6:45-ish.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhere in that general vicinity. We have a special guest, S. Claus, will be coming, and Christmas Carol karaoke.
That's right. That's going to be fun.
I hope so.
Everybody loves to sing Christmas songs.
I do. My ride down here takes me about 45 minutes, and I was listening to a CD that I found of Christmas songs, rockin' Christmas songs or whatever. And it's not the original artists. And man, did they butcher some of my favorite. What a sucky
There's certain songs that just have to be sung. You know, Andy Williams has his song. The Christmas song has got to be sung by Nat King Cole. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree has got to be sung by Brenda. There's just certain songs that they have
and
to.
Feliz Navidad has to be Jose Feliciano.
Exactly.
And the person who sang it on this, it's supposed to be like Feliz Navidad, like fast, right? And he's like, Navidad. I'm like, come on.
Where did you get that CD?
Yeah, it's going. It's probably good. You're probably going to see it on the side of the road as you go north on the Parkway. Though I don't litter. I don't litter, but it wasn't one of my faves. 5 cents at my new garage sale,
Yes.
rockin' Christmas songs.
And you will sell it too.
Because I'm going to hit them with a rock, yeah. So I'm a little bit in a mood. I got to be honest and tell you.
What kind of mood?
Well, not a Christmas spirit mood today.
Oh no!
No,
Come on,
I'm having trouble believing today. I'm having trouble believing in humanity.
Oh no! What
Yes.
happened?
I'm just saying.
Oh, just in general?
Just saying in general.
Oh, nothing specific happened.
Well, let's talk about. So we were all excited last week. We were going to go to Brookdale Community College in Lincroft, New Jersey.
Oh, no.
And we were going to become Instagram and Twitter wizards. Okay,
Complete.
And unfortunately, the class was run by the Small Business Development Center located.
Very disappointing.
It was incredibly disappointing, but it wasn't that the class itself was disappointing. We met some really nice people. We actually met a young girl. Figure she's like 22 years old, could rule the world from her Instagram and Twitter account and her cell phone, and definitely had some pointers for us. Our teacher was a very nice woman who knew her material. The problem was the material.
Right. Exactly.
So
It's everything we already knew.
Everything we already knew.
You or I could have stood up there and told what you told.
Actually, I believe so. We did learn a few things, and of course, what we learned is that there's a lot of confusion, I feel, and there's a lot of misinformation, or there's a lot of, let's use this word, conflicting information.
Right.
So one source will tell you that you're supposed to do this on Twitter and Instagram, and another source will tell you to do this. So our teacher, in all of her wisdom, said, Google it.
Right.
Well,
So-
Google happens to be free, by the way. The class was not.
Right. So thank you very much. I came to this class and you told me I could have just sat at home and went on YouTube and Google and found out more information that you told me.
Exactly. So what did we do? How did we handle it? Well, you had some other issues that I don't want to get into, but
you did email.
We emailed and we said we found out that there are other classes that may actually be better. There's a strategy class.
I know. I'd be petrified to take it.
Well,
now. I don't know.
we originally thought that maybe we really belong in something more like that. We didn't realize we were either we're more advanced than we think we are, or the class was just less, just less than it was advertised to be.
It was just your basic stuff.
And we know there's all kinds of levels of people who come into a class, so that they're not going to. But we were hoping for that money shot, those tricks, those little things, those tidbits of information that somebody gives you that changes.
Well, they didn't show us anything about the sponsored ads or the videos and how to share. I mean, I thought we were going to learn that kind of stuff. She said, "This is how you put your profile picture up. Make sure you do that." I'm like, what? I already have an Instagram. With all that
you really
up there.
can. You really can go on YouTube and get all of this. As a matter of fact, even Instagram for Dummies, I'm sure there's a book out there somewhere.
You can pull your neighbor's teenager in.
So originally we were thinking that we were just saying, you know what, for the fee that we paid, we would like to, because we were dissatisfied customers, but not rude about it. We just, we just said, hey, listen, this isn't what we were thinking. First, we made phone calls, and then they asked us to put it in writing. So originally, the request was, hey, listen, could we just, instead of paying another fee, could we just try this strategy class, which is like one of the classes that they have in this blueprint certificate that you can earn, which. Ultimately, if you took all of the classes that they suggest and then some electives, what is it, over $500?
Yes.
To get the certificate that says that you took all of these classes.
You're certified in social media strategy, business planning, whatever.
Okay. The answer was, what we got was the runaround.
The runaround and argumentiveness, which you don't do to a customer.
Which surprised us because the Small Business Development Center, which is the Small Business Administration basically, is really geared towards helping businesses to become and to flourish and to teach them things that they don't know. Especially for like women and minorities and people who are really new, because I guess for years, women especially, because I've been a woman-owned business for many, many years. I guess we needed more training than other people in the beginning because we just didn't do it a lot.
Right.
But anyway, you go there and most of those services are free. And what they want to do is they want to counsel us on something that they don't even really.
You want me to go back to the same lady who didn't teach me anything the first night, and you want me to go back and be counseled by her? I can counsel her on a few things.
Well, we don't even actually
more than the class.
Well, the bottom line is, and this is the part that is upsetting me right now. Okay, I sent that email.
Yeah, no response.
There has been no acknowledgement of receipt of that email. So not only are you not, and then here's the other side of it. Why would you argue with us?
You don't. You never argue with the customer. I don't care if it's a school. I don't care if it's a small business. Whatever this is. You're still a customer. You're still a paying customer.
We've talked about this before in customer service, and we've talked about what happens when a relationship can go sour. We've talked about the power of social media. We've talked about a million things, and I have a sidebar about social media that I want to briefly talk about. I think anyone who watches the news has seen and seen the news story about the Holland Tunnel. And moving the decorations. But that is a prime example, though, of the power of social media, okay? There are people...
one little guy, right?
Well, he started off as one little person. It turned out to be 21,000 people who just took the poll or signed the petition, whatever. And it obviously really affects people. So without any social commentary on that, this is strictly what social media can do. So...
And that's not a lot of people, 21,000.
No, but it was enough to sway.
To make those guys get out, but that had cost to get those guys out there at midnight.
Move it over, take it off.
You're talking like double overtime, to move an A from an
But I understand it. I do actually understand it. And I guess for some people, it's actually almost painful for them as they're sitting there. I mean, you can sit in traffic for hours on end sometimes. So you're staring at it. And if you have any kind of
OCD kind of problem.
Yeah, it'll really affect. Well, that's the other side of it, though, too.
But it is centered the way it was on the end. I know what he's saying about the Christmas tree being
symmetry of the A.
But
it makes
now
sense,
the tree's
right?
so far over, though.
Well, and they took the O off of the tunnel. They took the wreath off of the U for tunnel. So now I think there's only 2 decorations. I don't think there's all 3.
Really?
Yeah, because it created the word tunnel instead of tunnel. It changed it to an O. I mean, it basically covered the U.
I just have to say one thing, and I understand the power of social media, and I think that's wonderful. But with all the shit that's going on in this world, this is what we're worried about. Well, and this is what we can get people to change in the Port Authority. How about fixing the tunnel? How about not raising it to $18 to go through a tunnel that's going to crack any day and the water's going to come bursting through?
You just have your fears there about that.
Well, it's not even fear. It's like take care of. I mean, when's the last time you went in the Lincoln or Holland Tunnel?
Not recently, but I know.
It's filthy dirty. It's
I know.
disgusting. It's like,
No, the traffic is horrible. Listen, I don't, again, I'm not, this wasn't about it wasn't a social commentary on that. It was really more about the idea that here we are, two people who have been in business for a very long time. We're not 21-year-olds, okay? We went in there, we said, listen, we appreciate what the teacher did. We gave her props, and we were saying, but we know what, we're not satisfied. We are dissatisfied customers.
And they even
and we didn't want, and originally we didn't want our money back. Originally what we said is, okay,
Just
you know
wanted
what,
to take another class.
let us swap out a class. Let us just, exchange. Now I want my money back. Because now I don't want to deal with them.
And on top of that, we have to hear from someone in the class that you didn't even have to pay because people just walk in here and sit down. I'm not in charge of taking financial responsibility.
Another thing. So you come in, we pay, and I had my receipt. I know you had your stuff with you, and then we go to sit down, and they pass out a sign-in sheet that has not one single person that was in the class was on the roster, and yet there was a whole roster of people that weren't there. So obviously, genius, you have the wrong sheet.
Exactly.
Okay? So, everything about this was just off. But I'm just going to say this. There's nothing you can teach me about business if you can't start with customer service.
Right, exactly.
And so
that's
we really have a problem with this.
I said, I would love to be in a business class where you're teaching and one of the students asks you, if this A, B, C, D that happened to us happened in business, how would you handle it? I would love to hear their answer.
Practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I found out something right before you got here today that has, and obviously if someone is listening to us, then they obviously hear us and they found us. But I found out that, we were on Wildfire for over a year, Wildfire Radio. And it turns out that when we left Wildfire, we were not redirected to our new platform, which is Spreaker. So we've lost a bunch of people somehow, or there's a bunch of airtime that's just,
and that shouldn't have
and I am very, very
another
upset.
Customer service issue.
It's another customer service fail. I tried to address this. I addressed it before we left. I addressed it weeks after we left when I didn't see anything to
no
up.
avail.
And it was again addressed today, only to find out that obviously nobody gives a crap. So I said on the air about Christmas, and I said on the air about being let's make it about other people. Let's do things for other people. Let's have a Christmas spirit. And I got to tell you, I had a fabulous, fabulous conversation with my son last night from California. I love our conversations. We really are getting into some really great stuff. And one of the things I told him we were going to talk about today was this tweet from Pete Davidson.
Yes.
Okay. I am really genuinely concerned,
disturbed for him,
and
yes.
I am disturbed, and I was very pleased to see and hear about all of the people who really expressed their concern.
Yeah, they reached out,
but the kid has got to get professional help.
Yeah, there's something not right.
Social media is a good place in one sense if you're it is and it isn't, because part of what's happened is, okay, he went on Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. His star rose a bit because of Ariana Grande. He poked fun at the relationship when it ended. He did fire the first shot at one point at her.
Did.
Okay,
He did.
But he's made it very clear he has some mental health issues, as does Kanye West. All of these people have made it clear that they're battling something. Mm-hmm. When you go on social media and share that, it does help a certain amount of people. It can bring people together.
Absolutely.
But it also brings out the assholes, the people who are going to bully you, who are going to minimize it, and who are going to just, call you a crier and a baby and a whiner and all of these kind of things. And I'm concerned that it's gone too far.
I think it has already. I think he's in a very dark place right now.
He is in a very dark
place.
So what my son and I, Jake, were talking about was how we have managed. Social media plays a role, but not always, in dehumanizing people. We don't see. We don't.
No question about it.
When my kids were of a certain age, they were servers, bartenders, hostesses at restaurants. How many times have you walked into a place? You don't even realize it, maybe, and you're short with the person, or you're not as nice as maybe you could be, or the server. The server is genuinely not the brightest bulb on the strand,
exactly.
And you express your displeasure. I took a step back when my kids were in that zone, and I thought to myself, that's somebody's kid.
Right. Well, it's people in general that you don't know what they're going through.
Think about their life. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean that, you have problems in your life that unfortunately, it's always difficult to leave them at home, but you can't always bring them to the job, and that doesn't give you an excuse to treat customers wrong and be rude. But why can't we see people as people?
We don't, but that old saying is like when you see somebody, smile, because you don't know what somebody's going through today. You don't know what they're thinking in their mind. I was just in the store a little while ago, and this woman, she seemed so dark and depressed, and I said Merry Christmas to her, and she was like, thank you. Nobody's said that to me.
Really?
All season long, yeah. And I was like,
oh, she worked there?
No, she was a customer behind me, and I was just like, well, enjoy your Christmas. And she's like, thank you so much.
Yeah, I got off the phone with somebody. Yeah. I made an appointment for something in January, and so I'm not going to see this person until middle of January. And I was like, you have a very happy holiday. And I have to tell you that her voice over the phone, like, brightened. Oh, thank you so much. You too.
Yeah.
I didn't just say goodbye. It's not that hard to do.
Well, we talk about just being a little kinder to everybody. We're so anxious to always, like, jump on somebody for something. It's like, and again, like, you don't know what they went through last night. You don't know what happened this morning to them. You don't know what's going on in their life. They could be losing their job. Nobody knows. People walk around with smiles on their faces, like the signs of a clown, face of a clown. You don't know. So you got to try to be a little bit nice to everybody. And then, if you don't get anywhere, well, then, Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, but here's the other side of it. Do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you do the right thing and if you say one thing and you say, oh, we provide, customer service, or I'm going to take care of this for you, or if you don't get to it, then just say why you didn't get to it. Or if you can't do something for someone, say, you know what, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I just
hate
can't.
Being lied to.
This is the year. This is it. The end of 2018. Mm-hmm. From now on, if you know me, don't mess with me in 2019. I'm calling bullshit when I see it. I cannot and I will not listen to excuses that are just wrapped up in a ribbon.
Well, wouldn't you rather me be truthful and say to you, no, I don't want to go, or give you some long ass story about why I can't make it, and I wish I could, and maybe next time. No, friend, I can't make it tonight. Or, no, friend, I didn't make that phone call. I forgot.
Yeah,
I'll do it on Tuesday when I can.
Or I just, as much as I thought about it, I really just don't want to do it. I really don't want to go. Right. I hope you understand. I have
more respect for you if you said that to me.
Well, lie to me. This was also part of this amazing conversation with Jake, which was, people have years and years ago when I first moved down here and I became the title was firm administrator for an accounting firm.
Were you firm?
I was firm. but I was like, I told you this, and under, not literally, the partners and above the office manager. So I was really like, I was up there. I was an executive.
Yeah, sure.
And it was my job to, help them get through this thing called peer review for the accountants. So there was all these rules and regulations that had to be met. And so I was brought in. The position was created for this purpose. And one of the receptionists used to say, you may not like what she has to say, but you always know where she stands.
Right.
And
when you leave the room, you know exactly what's happening.
Right. And my son is the same way. He's a fitness trainer. He's a coach, and he's a young man, but he's honest, sometimes brutally, but which he can work on that. There's the delivery could always can be a little softer at times, but the message is always pretty clear, and you know that what he's saying to you is authentic and real, and it comes from the heart, and he believes it, and he's not sugarcoating anything for you. And that's in my opinion, I think that's the best way to be. That's the most honest way to be in your life.
I totally agree. I have someone in my life, my family, that is like that, brutally honest, sometimes to the point it offends a lot of people. However, there are some people that respect her and say, you know what? At least I know when I leave that room exactly where I stand with this person.
There's no talking behind somebody's back. Right. There's no really wondering what they're saying. Like how many times I
know so many phony people.
I can't even stand it anymore.
I see them go, and then they're so kind and so sweet, and the honey's dripping from their mouth, and then you leave the room and they just like rip them a new one. And I'm like, oh my God! Did you see that?
But see, the thing about that is, you can still be an honest, kind, sweet person,
right?
Like honesty should not be, and authenticity isn't a weapon or a bad trait. It's a wonderful trait, and I think that if the world were more like that and people were more honest, so you've got this guy, say Pete Davidson, who's obviously struggling, right? He does try to use humor at times to make light of it. He's gone on Saturday Night Live with this personality disorder. I forget the exact term that he uses. And he'll make a joke and he'll say, well, I've got this personality. But he is crying out for help. And I just want to make sure, I can't, but I hope that he really gets the help that he needs and that people would just stop it.
They don't.
And he also needs to get off social media. And apparently he's deleted some of his stuff.
Didn't he terminate the social media?
He did, but he had done that also, for a little while. He went dark for a while, and then he kind of came back. Again, you can use it for good, and you can use it.
It's addicting. That's the problem.
And you can use it for evil too. And another example, we talked about this a few times, is Kathie Lee Gifford, because I'm a Today Show person, and we've always liked Hoda and Kathie Lee together.
Yes,
they have fabulous chemistry. For 10 years, they've been together, and Kathie Lee has announced that on their 11th anniversary, basically, she's leaving.
I know. Why wait?
Happy anniversary, bye-bye.
Right.
Well, I guess she has to finish out her contract. I'm sure she has a contract. She probably does a year at a time.
Well, yeah, but some of them just leave.
Well, she's not. And so we're going to spend the next, 3 months wishing her well. But that's fine.
God, we're going to hear goodbye every day.
But what interested me about some of what she said goes back to what I'm saying about being truthful and honest and authentic. She wanted to be the one to make the announcement, as she should. It's her news.
Sure.
And she wanted to be the one to control the story, because we know that people come up with all kinds of crazy thoughts. You and I have talked. I have my own thoughts about maybe some feelings that might be there. That's just bullshit. I'm just making stuff up because because I see something and maybe I'm reading into something. There's no validity to that. Only she knows how she feels, and only she knows what the reasons are. And now she's out there and she's saying, "This is why I'm leaving." Now, whether it's true, people are going to speculate about that too.
But it's coming from her mouth, so it makes a big difference. Her mouth. Months ago you heard Kathie Lee starting her own skincare line. It was all
turns
fake
out
news.
It's all fake news, and she said that her and Hoda and
same thing with the one that's on ABC, Laura Spencer. They said that's why she was leaving. That's not why she's leaving. She's another one's leaving, but every day she's on. So I don't know what's going on with her either.
Well, Kathie's given her time frame. She said April. So April is their 11th. And now they're talking about replacements. And you and I talked about this. I had told you that Jenna Bush Hager was supposedly the front runner. Who even knows if that's true? And you had said there's a man.
Yeah. Now they're thinking about Jerry O'Connell. I think they're in the running. I think Jenna's going to get it. I really do.
I was thinking about that conversation because we talked about this last night. I was thinking to myself, when you have a chemistry like the two of them have, right, and one of them leaves, I actually think that it might be better to try to completely revamp instead of making it another female buddy show and looking for, because I really feel like no matter what, they're going to constantly be compared to Hoda and Kathie Lee. No matter what, whether there's chemistry, not chemistry. Kathie Lee is older than Hoda, but they're still considered, I think, in the same age group. Okay,
absolutely.
Hoda's got some things going on in her life that Jenna does too. She's a young child,
sure. Same thing.
But they're so far apart in their growth. I don't know.
I'm going to go back to my branding mentality. It's been branded now for 10 years as a quote unquote chick show, no pun intended here, with the shift chicks. But you just can't throw for what they do and what they talk about. I don't see it working with men.
But should it be this? That's what I'm saying, though. But
that's why people tuned in.
But if they tuned in for the two of them specifically, right. I don't know.
But Jenna's been on so much that people are really used to her now.
Yeah, but I think people know Kathie's coming back. I don't know. It's obviously these are just our opinions.
But especially when they go on trips and stuff, it's like you're going away with a guy. It's just they do so much fun stuff as women together that I just don't think a guy is going to go in the mix.
Well, I think
there were some of their lowest ratings when they had John Cena on and they would bring these guys on. There was some of their lowest ratings, they had said. So like, why even think about bringing a guy to host the show now?
I don't know. I have my own thoughts about the whole. I think they need I think that time frame. Who are they up against at that time frame? Do you know?
At 10 o'clock, Rachel Ray.
Okay,
and,
so that's a female single, and she's by herself. She doesn't have a host.
Yeah, co-host. She's by herself. And I don't know what's on.
What's that
CBS.
Strahan show?
Oh, that comes out. That's going to get canceled. That's awful.
But that's a man in a. That's been the traditional format, and now you have Hoda. You have Hoda with Savannah. You have this third hour that is a conglomerate of people. It's like whoever's available in the studio comes on. Today it was Chanel Jones, Keir Simmons, who I like, the guy from Britain when he comes on. He's funny. I like him. Was it Al Roker? Was it Al? And then Craig Melvin.
Okay.
And you're just like, okay. And then obviously each time, they're all scripted. So you could see who the host of the day is.
Right,
like they seem to rotate who the host of the day is, which isn't a terrible thing. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing to not know who to expect, or if we should, like an old pair of slippers, like Hoda and Kathie Lee, like you know that this is what's going to be. And I don't know. What do you think about that? And do you care?
I know, tell you that I really
shit.
don't.
I didn't think so.
But like I said, Strahan and Sarah Haynes, it's an awful show. Actually, I'd be pleased to see one day like a ex-football player, now commentator, now talk show host, game show host. He's like got his hands in a million things. Maybe I'd like to see him with another guy, and talk about what do men get to watch in the morning.
I don't think.
There are retired
to be really
men,
honest, there are, but I don't think. I think they tend. There's
build
other
it
shows.
and they will come.
Yeah, but the audience. I think the audience is still mostly though. There's when Kathie and Hoda have the men on, that group of guys that they do the talk. Wasn't the Doctors a show with all men at one point? Was it?
There were female doctors on there as well.
Okay,
yeah.
But wasn't there some shows where there were mostly?
Oh, that show that failed. It was kind of like the male view. Oh my God,
okay.
I can't think about it.
Okay, so they had. Look, you and I.
It didn't even last the whole season.
One of the things that you and I have talked about that we like about A Million Little Things is that it actually, even though the female roles are very strong.
Oh yeah.
It still really basically centers on the male friendships
right.
and how different men are in terms of the way that they handle a situation, and it's good to see. I don't know. You know what? I happen to be in a position right now where I'm able to see a lot of these shows. I wasn't always like a daytime person to be able to watch and make judgments. But I did see this morning on the news that because we had talked about this at the time when Les Moonves.
It's a hard
He's
name to
not
say.
getting his money.
Good. They're coming out a lot more now. The guy that used to be on NCIS, who now plays Bull, whose name just went right out of my head. He used to be DiNozzo on NCIS. He just came out under Les, finding out a cover-up. They paid a girl $9.5 million to cover up his sex scandal. So a lot more is coming out now about Les.
CBS in general?
Yes, in general, him being at the helm, protecting all these people. So I told you, there's rumor, speculation that Gayle King wants to leave CBS News because of this whole thing. Not because she had an encounter with him, but she just doesn't want her reputation tainted as a CBS person,
So she should go with
I don't know why she doesn't just have a show on OWN. I mean,
Maybe she wants to be her own person. I don't know.
With Oprah?
Well,
she's never been her own person.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Again, I don't want to. Well, I just thought it was interesting because
they're attached at the hip.
I don't want to say we forget, but news takes over and things take precedence, and so it got quiet for a while, and then all of a sudden that came up. And the only thing I wanted to say about that, and I didn't know what you just said, so thank you for sharing that, was that I hope that it's not that I wanted anybody to be hurt. But I hope that these are true. Nothing. I really hate liars, and I really don't like false accusations.
Something had to go down big time for $9.5 million.
Well, so who did he lose? Like 120? Like it's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Julie
Chen. I want to see if she stands by her man now.
But
it's like I don't know.
I don't know. I just
she came out and was so happy for Carrie Ananaba because she's got the job at the Talk. So she said, and of course she had to put this in. This is another thing, I hate the label thing.
Wait, she's the one from Dancing with the Stars, right? She's the judge? I like her.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. But Julie Chen came out and said, I could get no better replacement for my Asian sister. It's like, why do you have to put the label on it? Just congratulate her.
Well, because I think that, again, and so was she chosen because they felt that they had to
I don't know, because
replace an Asian with an Asian?
I don't know. And they shouldn't have to have.
I mean, woman is not good enough. It has to be. There has to be more.
And everything, it's getting so aggravating. Every day there's like a label in front of everything that we talk about. Everything is segregated now. It's just like so unbelievable.
Well, some of it is newsworthy. Okay, so I missed the pageant completely, but I I did not know anything about
This
it.
frustrates me, what you're going to talk about.
Well,
and I'll
because
tell you why.
well, because you know that I could get I have my own thoughts about pageants. I did watch the Miss America pageant because I was curious to see how they were going to handle the controversy about it, and I thought they did. I actually thought they did a pretty damn good job. I did not enjoy the pageant, and anyone who participates willingly, by the way, these people willingly put themselves out there. All of them felt very empowered by it. They did not feel objectified. They did not think that the pageant has seen a better day. I don't know what they call it anymore. It's not a beauty contest anymore. Right. It's whatever it is. Something. What I don't even remember. Right? I don't know. I have to listen to the old show.
Gretchen Carlson changed the name. The one who used to be on Fox.
Yeah, she called it something else, right? So recently, this past weekend was the Miss Universe pageant,
right?
And it was so I have a sick sense of humor. So one of the contestants, her name is Angela Ponce. I don't know if it's Ponce. I don't know because she's
I don't know.
She represented Spain, so she's Spanish. So I hate to butcher anybody's name. I feel bad.
Well, Ponce de Leon, so it's probably Ponce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. Yeah. She was the first openly transgender Miss Universe contestant. Now they say openly transgender because I guess maybe over the years people don't. Before? Well, people may not. I mean, for reasons that you could understand.
Listen, I have no problem. Anybody that, do what you want to do with your body. I don't really care. Doesn't affect me. But I think it's extremely unfair to have a transgender in a Miss Universe pageant of women. Okay, not that she is not a woman now, but there was a lot to enhance her body, change her voice, change her face. They have a lot of surgery done, and to me that just doesn't seem fair. And again, you want to go back to the blacks don't want us with the whites, the Hispanics doesn't want to be with the black. It's like everything today is like, oh, by the way, we just got a new justice. But he's gay. Oh, we got a new mayor, but he's had multiple marriages. Like everything has to come. The
Christmas tree was donated by the first lesbian Latinx couple.
Like, why do we need to know this? Like, it's not going to affect me looking at the Christmas tree. So, if they want to make everything so separate, okay, then have a transgender Miss Universe.
Well, actually, they don't want to make it separate. What they want to make it is inclusive.
But it can't be. If you went and had work done, okay.
Half of the contestants have had work done. I was thinking about this. Half of the contestants have something.
Women. They were still women.
I actually don't, believe it or not, I actually don't disagree with you. I feel like, well, first of all, let me just say what you're telling me, because she represented Spain, you're telling me that in the entire country of Spain, there wasn't a female that was
trying to make a statement,
was as beautiful and talented as someone who had to I don't even know. I mean, I understand. I guess I do understand the I guess the hormone. I don't, if you I guess who you truly identify with. I guess that's what they say. Who you identify with. I get it. I do. I absolutely get it. I really do. If you identify as being a certain way, okay.
Well, I'm not a holy roller, but
it's very brave to put your body,
extremely brave,
to go through that. It's expensive. It's brave to put your body through so that you feel that you're comfortable now in your own skin. I think that's really what this is about, and that's what plastic surgery really does for a lot of people too. Mm-hmm. It makes them comfortable in their own skin.
Right. But you're just fixing something, if you have lines, you're fixing it.
It's hard.
I mean, this is taking. You were born into this worth.
You're adding and removing body
uterus,
parts.
As one.
Should you be in a competition?
Yeah, I do it if that makes you feel. I have no problem when if you want to be transgender, but I don't think that you should participate with women, even though you're quote unquote a woman now. It's like, I just don't think it's fair. It's not fair.
Well,
play.
it seems like you have it almost seems like you have an advantage.
Of course.
Because, and it turns out, and this is, I guess, she's stunning.
Yeah, of course.
She's absolutely beautiful.
Most of them are.
Which makes you wonder, I don't know when she made her transition. I don't know. I just love.
But the guys who don't even do the transgender operation just in drag are gorgeous.
I know.
Oh my God! I kill for their legs.
My immediate reaction though was Bangkok. I just couldn't help
You couldn't help that with that poster.
And I posted it, and you know what? I don't know if anybody actually got it. It was a little sick,
but
it was not
a little demented.
It wasn't meant to be rude, and it wasn't meant. It was just meant to satire, funny. But I mean,
Absolutely.
I wasn't not bashing anybody. I'm with you too. I don't know how I would feel if I were a contestant But again, but there's part of me that says, like, enhancing is one thing, but adding and subtracting is a little bit of a whole different ball game here.
I agree where if a woman wants to do a man's job and can do it, do it. If a guy wants to do a woman's job and wants to put up
and get less pay, go right ahead.
Go right ahead and do it. But when you're putting in a competition for something, it's like me trying to go in a weightlifting competition with, a giant man bodybuilder. It's just not going to happen.
Boy Scouts let in Girl Scouts, and Girl Scouts don't want to let in Boy Scouts. It's called Boy Scouts of America.
Look at the craziest thing in the entire world. I mean, if this happens, I'm done. I'm seriously done. The gender-friendly Santa Claus. They no longer want it to just be a man. They want to have females do Santa Claus now.
Oh, the hose?
Yeah, the hose will become now Santa Claus.
The real hoe?
So, the kids are traumatized now. But they've first of all, hello, America, Saint Nick was a man. It's fact. It's forget about the whole other reality of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Which, if there's any children, we're not going to say.
No children are listening to this broadcast.
Saint Nick was a man, and that's how it got started. He started bringing little gifts around to kids, and that's how it got started. So there's no question and doubt that he was a man. Okay, I mean, question one, God is a woman, this and that. Saint Nick was a man. So now you bring your screaming kid who sees pictures of Santa Claus to begin with all of their lives, since they're growing up, with the white beard and
big belly and the deep voice.
Yeah. Now they're going to sit on some broad's lap and, hi, honey, what are you doing? Talk about the kids screaming and crying while they're taking the picture.
Why is that necessary, though? Why can't we leave anything? Like you said, can't we leave any? Can we leave nothing?
On.
Well,
we had Vic on the show many times.
Maybe this is why we have no Christmas spirit. Maybe this is why people have
It truly is.
Don't want to.
It's like, where are you, Christmas?
Go out there.
I wonder why. They want to. You have to watch the latest video of
Vic DiPotato,
right? Who's a friend of the show and been on the show. He does a rant about baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah, I thought.
But when he starts, when he's finished with that, he goes, I'm tired of the world. What's right is wrong, what's wrong is right, what's left is left, and he just goes on. He's like, when is this ever going to end?
It's not. It's getting progressively worse. And
I see a world in 10 years with no holidays, with nothing.
Well, we're going to take it down to we're going to take it down
no
to
statues, no holidays,
to the barest bones. I mean, it definitely will take someone's spirit away,
yeah,
I think. But I did watch an interview quickly this morning with Sandra Bullock, and one of the things that she was saying, because she has 2 adopted children.
Yeah, I love her.
She's great. Is that this year, they're so over the top over the years that this year each of her children are getting like 3 gifts, and she's actually said what I had said to you, that this year is really about other people, making it about other people, trying to do something, be somewhere, just taking the onus away from yourself,
right?
And this massive amount of stuff that we feel that we need to.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's actually disgusting to me. It really gets to me a lot.
Well, the whole thing is just like you say, be kind, but really people forget the true meaning of Christmas. And if they really remember the true meaning of Christmas, we were given a gift. We're not supposed to be giving gifts.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really, if you're into Christmas the way you're supposed to be, the gift was given to us, and we're just supposed to celebrate our gift that we received, not give gifts. Well, how this all got started is another.
Well,
whole
you
subject,
said Saint Nick.
Yeah.
You kind of started. Yeah. Well, it's what happens is we as human beings seem to take everything that's given to us, including this beautiful earth, and ruin it, destroy everything in our path. Somehow, it just seems like to be human nature that we are on a path of destruction. Interesting. I don't know if this is a good segue or not, but I have never seen the Red Table Talks that Jada Pinkett Smith does.
They're supposed to be amazing
with her family and so on. And a friend of mine on Facebook, who I actually know, it's a real person that I know. It's not just one of those Facebook friends. She posted an episode of a Red Table Talk with Jada, her mother, her daughter, and her brother.
Oh, okay.
And
the one with Will was supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah. But I definitely am going to go back and watch these. But it was interesting because this particular talk was about their father, who they each had now her brother and she had different mothers. But apparently their dad, who was extremely talented, very artistic, was also a drug addict and alcoholic. An alcoholic or just drug addict. And so he really didn't father either one of them the way parent, I should say. He fathered them, yeah.
He definitely fathered them.
Right, he didn't parent. And so each of them sat there and talked about how they felt.
It's a deep show, right?
He since has passed away, and there's some very honest feelings. And apparently, which I did not know, I don't know anything about this family, her mother was also a drug addict.
Really?
Yes, I did not know that. And I guess she thanked her daughter for standing by her side. So there's more to delve into, but the show is about sort of like forgiveness. And are there people you need to forgive and how? And the one thing that I took from the show, interestingly enough, was both of them came to this realization at different times, I guess, that, well, I think it was actually Jada first who said it. Because of these labels.
Yep.
Mother, father, brother, sister. We expect certain behaviors from people.
Exactly.
And when those people don't live up to those behaviors, but we gave them that. You have to watch it. It's really.
I heard it's very, very deep.
This particular episode, though, was really powerful because it's like everyone is on their path and on their journey, right? And everyone has the right, just like you have your right and I have my right to be. Where do we assign what you're supposed to do and who you're supposed to be? So this was their father,
right?
Okay, he obviously had his own things going on, and they were like angry and mad, and because he didn't do what they feel a father should do right. and be. And so they have all this anger and all this emotion, and it just hurts them. It just hurts you to
eats away at them.
It just
you
eats
gotta
away.
let that go.
Yeah, but you gotta. I would highly, really recommend this episode. But it's all part of this conversation I think we're having today in general about the behaviors we expected. And we started the show with me bitching about behaviors of people that we expect a certain level and they're not. I'm not sure if that's hypocritical, but. You have to have some expectation of people. I don't think that you can have none. So, if you're in a relationship with someone or you have a family member, let's say, and I think mostly this really hits home with family, and, it's not, you're not close with them or it's not working with them. It's not, you got to let it go. You really genuinely do.
At some point you do, because I always say, anger, revenge is like you taking the poison and waiting for the other person to die. Or that saying that, I forgot where I heard it. When George Bush died, he said that one of the people that spoke at his funeral said that anger or resentment or whatever erodes the container it's carried in. So that's essentially like our body.
Yeah, very in your mind and in your heart.
And it does, because, the other person's just like lollygagging through life, having a wonderful life, and you're over there being so angry at them still. And who's really getting hurt? You're only hurting yourself.
Right.
The negativity, the constant thoughts, it's just not healthy.
Well, Oprah even, and again, I mean, I know some of the history with her mom. I know she was raised, I believe, by her grandmother, right?
Mm-hmm. And her father. Yeah, her grandmother and father really took most care of her.
But as she was with her, as she passed away, she said she struggled for the words, and she's, been on television shows talking about, but ultimately what she said to her mother was, you did the best you could.
Right. And she probably could. Did, rather.
Our expectations of what people should be doing or not doing for us. But again, I don't know how to, it's a fine line, because I don't know how you walk through life having any interaction with anybody and not expecting anything from them, some level of something.
Yeah, you have to expect something.
But I guess your basic human interest or whatever you want from them, and but to because of these labels.
Yep.
And that was the other part. These labels that we put on people. These labels come with a set of instructions, apparently. So if you're somebody's father or mother, this is how you're supposed to behave. And you know what? I'm guilty of saying stuff like that too.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of saying this is she's this and she's that. She should be this way. But no, she needs to be herself.
I totally agree.
So there's not much more we can do about that.
No.
Oh,
we had Robert Burry on last week,
yes,
who was with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and I don't know if you heard that the the inductees came out for this year's Hall of Fame.
Yes, some of them.
Did you hear that? Yes.
I know it's, let's see, who do I remember that I heard? Was it Goo Goo Dolls? Did I hear Goo Goo Dolls?
Really?
No, maybe not.
No,
what did I hear?
So.
You tell me.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you. It is Devo. Why, I don't know.
Devo.
Janet Jackson.
Yes.
John Prine.
Don't know who that is.
Kraftwerk.
Don't know who that is.
LL Cool J.
Yay.
He's in there. MCs.
Who?
Radiohead. MCs.
Oh, Radiohead. That's who I was thinking. I'm not Goo Goo Dolls.
Rage Against the Machine. Roxy Music. Rufus from Chaka Khan. Stevie Nicks for the second time, the only female ever to be inducted twice.
How can you be inducted twice? Was she with is it a solo artist?
I think it's a solo artist, yeah. The Cure, which I used to love. The Zombies, and Todd Rundgren.
Ooh, I love Todd Rundgren.
Here's an interesting thing, because, I always ask a lot of people, like, when in the world is Pat Benatar going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame? Because she, if you remember, the first woman ever on MTV, the second video played was hers. She was basically a pioneer for women in the,
and she was badass.
Gwen Stefani. All the women that are out today have to give it to Pat Benatar.
Give it up
for doing
to Pat.
That. And then I find out that there's a lot, I don't know how do you interpret this? Artists become eligible for induction 25 years after the release of their first record. Criteria includes the influence and significance of the artist's contributions to the development and preparation of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So when I was talking to a friend, they said that Pat Benatar is not in there because she wants to keep for her children all her memorabilia, her gold records, her outfits, the famous red belt.
So
and all
she
that.
won't, in other words, she won't donate it. She won't let them curate it.
She hasn't done it yet. So do you interpret that the way I interpret it?
So if you don't give you stuff to them, they don't put you in there?
But did that wording make sense to you?
Well, that's what it kind of sounds like. Well, you have to contribute to it in some way.
But it doesn't
is
say
that money?
Stuff.
Is it money?
No, it's definitely not money. I think that they're talking about, because it says criteria include influence and significance of the artist's contribution to the development. So what does
are
that
these
mean?
other people going out there talking about it or making it better? I don't know. You'd have to actually research
some more research
the people
about
and
that,
find out what they did or how they did it to get in there. That sounds like you have to almost buy your way in.
So why would you even want to be inducted?
Bullshit.
Why would you want to be inducted into something that it's the same thing with the Star Walk of Fame in Hollywood? You could buy that star.
Can you?
Yeah. It's really not.
You can buy anything, I guess, huh?
Yeah, you got the money. We could have a shift chick star on the Hollywood Walk.
I think we need a shift chick star. So I have an interesting afternoon today.
You do?
Well, I thought about this last night. I have an appointment at the accountant this afternoon.
Oh, joy.
Just to sign some papers.
This is like a.
This is like the year is coming. The year is coming to an end. This is our last regularly scheduled Tuesday morning broadcast. We're going to have some special shows between now and the end of the year. I think we're definitely putting one out Wednesday night,
tomorrow night,
and we're going to try to see if we're both around. We're going to put something out in between Christmas and New Year's before the year actually ends.
That's the plan, Stan.
That is the plan, Stan. And then, of course, we talked in 2019. We will be at Tuesday. The shift chicks are becoming night owls.
Yes.
But not really that late. It's 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. And we're going to put all that out there. But I am closing a chapter.
Press releases will be coming soon to a newspaper near you or a website near you.
Look in your stocking.
That's right. Seriously.
You're going to get a press release. Oh, Santa, you silly man.
Seriously.
No, I am signing dissolution papers for a company that I have owned. And I started off as an owner with other people and then solely owned for 25 years.
Lord.
No, seriously,
I can't even stay in the same house for 25 years.
You know, I thought about it. I was thinking about this. That is huge. 25 years?
Yes.
First of all, I can't believe I did anything for 25 years. Right? But that's a huge chapter. That's a huge...
Yeah, and you're closing it. And you're happy about it. You're not sad about it.
I am not sad.
You went through that part of your journey. You're done with it.
I am so...
And you're moving on.
Done with it. I still have some cleanup I'll do in 2019 under a different name and so on. But the bottom line is 25 years. It is now considered my past. And I'm...
it's so weird. You just graduated high school like 10 years ago. How did you do all this in 25 years?
I don't know how I did.
Christmas.
No, but seriously, it's almost scary. we talk about this. My father used to say, don't wish your life away, because, when you're a kid, you want to be older. When you're older, you want to be even older. Right. And then you reach a point where you're like, ooh, stop time.
Take me back.
Take me back. But he used to say, don't wish your life away. And we do that. We say, I can't wait till the holidays are over. I can't wait till vacation. Which is
I never say that,
but
just to let you know.
But I mean, like you say, we mean it in the sense like, we can't wait to get to something because we're excited about it or we dread it and we want it to pass.
Right.
But there's a whole life in between, and sometimes we forget about that. When I'll be happy when, or when this happens.
Happy now.
You gotta find something.
Be happy in the here and now.
So in the holiday
you never know
season,
what tomorrow's going to bring.
And in the holiday season, don't you think it's even more important to
absolutely
to try to find some kind of joy and something in that stocking besides coal?
Oh, I don't even know what's going to be in mine. We'll have to see. I know a press release is going to be in there now. You gave it away. Jeez.
Well, I just want to say that I'm thankful for Sears Home Services because my dryer decided to stop tumbling. I'll tumble for you.
There you
I'll
go.
tumble for you. No, I won't. It stopped and ducked me into the Hall
I love
of
when
Fame.
you sing.
Oh my
I
gosh!
hope tomorrow night you're going to sing a Christmas
I have to tell you
song.
something too. Like there's something on iHeartRadio. We are on iHeartRadio. We talked about this, and there are some kind of podcast awards. Wait. Alexa, latest episode of Makeshift Happen Show on iHeartRadio.
Getting the latest episode of Makeshift Happen Show. Here it is from iHeartRadio.
There we are on iHeartRadio.
I know.
And so
awesome.
I heard something that there is some kind of, again, now podcasts are on, that there's some kind of awards.
Well,
so
damn it, we better win
we
one.
have to find a way to figure out how people, you have to go on iHeartRadio, something vote. So I'm going to find I'm going to find a link, and I'm going to put the link up. Get us on there. At least get us on the ballot. That would be really cool, because that'd be
just
a great
being on the ballot would be fun. I mean, if you didn't win.
We don't have to win. We just want to be nominated.
Yes.
And we promise we won't
phony
make
speech.
We promise we won't make any political speeches.
And if we win, I want to thank all of the people.
Little people.
I admire all the people that were in this nomination with me. Yes.
Yes.
Did you ever see the new Burger King commercial when her name is called, and she thinks she won an award? She's floating in her head.
The one guy. The one guy. He's
McDonald's.
like skiing or it's one of the fast foods. It's like that they did something, and they're all like
funny,
Do you daydream? Did you ever like when you're driving, because you're more of a driver, like you've taken
I get lost
trips
in the
to Florida.
music. Like I get lost in the music, and then I'm like, I'll get off my exit or get where I'm supposed to be going, and I'm like, how'd I get here?
Yeah, no, that's called a blackout. Let's get clear about
those are
the
my
difference
drinking
between
days.
a daydream and a blackout.
Those are my drinking days. Those were blackouts.
Who are you?
I know, really. It was like,
and how did I get
I
here?
had that many, many nights of how did I
You
get here?
did not. Don't say that. Don't give a wrong impression. You're not like that.
Oh,
ho, ho, ho.
So you think?
So you say. Well, we have a couple more minutes left, so I just want to take the moment. Right, we'll take a moment and wish everyone.
Take a moment.
Let's take a moment. Wait, get your bells. To wish everyone a very
and believe.
Yeah, you got to
Always
believe, man.
believe.
You got to believe in something.
Exactly.
And you know what? If
Pick and choose whatever you want to believe in, but believe in something.
believe in yourself.
first and foremost.
First and foremost, you got to believe in yourself. You really do. And if you believe in yourself enough, you really can make shift happen.
Absolutely.
You really can. Look at how far we've come. I mean, the one thing I do, and I say this all the time, the only reason you should look behind you is to see how far you've come. That's the only reason to look in
Correct.
the past is to really see it. And I have to say, I'm proud of us. I think this year we've made some moves, and we're really taking the jingle bells.
Yeah,
by
there
the
you go.
by the bells.
We've taken the bells by the bells. No balls this week. I'm happy about that. Finally, no
That's all right.
balls.
We're already on it. I already have to check the
And the
explicit
past
box
is-
like 5 times.
There's a reason why God made a rear view mirror in a car. Just to take a glance,
Yeah.
back in there every now and then. Make sure there's no cop behind you now.
Well, this is true too.
Yeah.
Actually, today I had the Department of Corrections behind me today.
Did you really?
I wasn't sure what to do. I'm like, well, do I
Maybe
speed
they were
up? Do
wondering
I
why you
slow
didn't
down?
show up for work.
I mean, are they carrying orange jumpsuits for me? I don't really look good in orange.
Look back, but don't stare.
That's another Netflix orange. Oh my gosh. Real quick. Okay. Because again, I'm a little behind the 8 ball. Ozark.
Wait a second. Did
Ozark.
I tell you to watch that or no?
I don't know
Did I
who-
tell you about Maria? Because remember I said to you,
Is that the one?
I'm pretty sure that was
You
it
might have been
on
you.
the air.
All right, so I'll give you credit,
Wait a
okay?
second. I called her last night, right? After we had our outing last night, I called her and she's like, hello. I'm like, Maria, are you okay? She's like, I can't talk right now. I'm like, Maria, what's the matter? And she's like, I can't talk. I keep hitting my husband every time he talks, so I can't talk. I'll call you tomorrow morning. What are you doing? I'm watching Ozark. I'm like, oh my God.
Season 1, we started watching it Saturday, like mid-afternoon maybe. I'm like, let's just try this. At 2 o'clock in the morning, we shut it off.
Wow. That good.
Got up the next day, and it was in the East Coast. The weather was horrific on Sunday.
Yes.
Nobody wanted to go anywhere. Rain, cold.
I never left my pajamas.
We didn't even watch football, though we did watch the end of the Steelers Patriots game. And of course, the Giants. I'm so sorry, Lisa. They are done.
They're done.
And yes, we're keeping Eli.
Well,
okay.
by that loss.
Okay. Keep Eli.
Don't get me started.
Keep him.
We need a front
Keep him.
line.
Yep.
You got to go out and spend the money, Tish Mara, for the line to protect Eli.
Merry Christmas, Eli.
The guy gets the ball in his hand and he's like charged.
He
at by
stands
50
there. He
people.
doesn't know what to do. He has the deer in the headlights.
You know, he doesn't have enough time
and they're
to
not
even
reindeer.
move.
They're not even reindeer.
He doesn't have enough time to move. He's being chased and pushed over and run down.
Bye-bye, Eli. He's getting up there. It's time to move on. But anyway, so we put the show back on again, and we watched it again until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Lord.
You are obsessed. It is
that good.
Unbelievable.
I've
never seen anything like this in my life. It's absolutely phenomenal. Netflix.
I'm just all about
I love
Christmas
you.
right
You're
now.
ruining my life, but I love you.
I just keep watching Polar Express. It's a Wonderful Life.
Ugh.
Miracle on 34th Street. That's my life.
We
right
need a
now.
miracle, all right?
We sure do.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Maybe Happy New Year, but we'll probably talk to you before then.
I'm sure.
We have to go out there and make shift happen.
Thanks for listening, Shifters. Join us again next Tuesday at 11 a.m. as we spotlight the latest in exclusive restaurants, shopping, fashion, nightlife, entertainment, and the people who make shift happen.